Life has a way of surprising you, doesn't it? One day I was just another guy working at a warehouse, and the next I was jobless, homeless, and down to my last $11. My name is Lucas Meyer, and today I own Luminara Beauty, a global brand with over 160 locations. But the road to get here was anything but easy. I grew up in a tough neighborhood where survival was the only priority. My dad left when I was young, and my mom struggled with addiction, leaving me to fend for myself. I learned quickly that life wasn't going to hand me anything on a silver platter. From a young age, I worked odd jobs, delivering newspapers, mowing lawns, and even stocking shelves, just to keep food on the table. But those jobs didn't lead anywhere. I wasn't building a future. I was just scraping by, day by day. Things went from bad to worse when I lost my warehouse job. The company had decided to downsize, and dozens of employees were laid off, including me. At first, I thought I could bounce back quickly. I started applying for jobs immediately, confident that something would come up. But as the weeks turned into months, my confidence began to erode. My savings disappeared, my bills piled up, and eventually, I couldn't make rent. The day I handed in the keys to my apartment was one of the lowest moments of my life. With nowhere else to go, I packed up what little I owned and moved into my car. Living in my car was a humbling experience. The nights were cold, the hunger was constant, and the shame was unbearable. I'd park in out-of-the-way spots, hoping no one would notice me. Gas money became a luxury, and fast food dollar menus were my primary source of sustenance. I felt invisible, like the world had moved on without me. Each day was a fight to survive, and each rejection from a job application felt like another nail in the coffin of my self-worth. One particularly cold night, sitting in the dark of my car, I hit rock bottom. As tears streamed down my face, I realized I had two choices: accept my situation or change it. I couldn't control the past, but I could control how I responded to it. That night, I made a promise to myself. No matter what it took, I would find a way out. The breakthrough came when a childhood friend reached out. She knew I was struggling and wanted to help. She worked at a beauty salon and mentioned they needed an assistant. At first, I hesitated. Beauty? I knew nothing about it. But I couldn't afford to let pride get in the way of an opportunity. I accepted the job. The salon's owner, Sophia, turned out to be a force of nature. She was passionate, driven, and incredibly kind. From the moment I stepped into her salon, I was struck by the energy and purpose that filled the space. Sophia put me to work sweeping floors, washing hair, and running errands. At first, I saw it as just another job, a way to keep myself afloat. But over time, something shifted. I started paying attention to how Sophia interacted with her clients and how she managed her team. Her passion was contagious, and her belief in me was transformative. One day, Sophia said something that changed my life. "Lucas, you've got something special. Don't let your circumstances define you." Those words lit a fire in me. For the first time in years, I began to dream again. I realized that I didn't have to stay stuck in survival mode. I could aspire to something greater. I started saving every penny I could. It wasn't easy. My paycheck was small, and there were always temptations to spend on short-term comforts. But I stayed disciplined. I had a vision, a dream of one day owning a business of my own. It seemed impossible, but I refused to let fear hold me back. After months of scraping and saving, I found a tiny, run-down space in an up-and-coming neighborhood. It wasn't much, but it was mine. I poured everything I had into transforming it. I cleaned, painted, and even built some of the furniture myself. It wasn't glamorous, but it had heart. When I opened the doors to my first salon, I was terrified. What if no one came? But they did. Slowly but surely, word of mouth spread. Clients came back because they felt valued and cared for. They weren't just customers to me. They were the foundation of my dream. The turning point came when I decided to open a second location. It was a massive risk. The first salon was doing well, but expanding meant doubling down on everything: the work, the stress, and the financial investment. I believed in what I was building, though, and I took the leap. That second salon marked the beginning of something bigger than I had ever imagined. Over the years, Luminara Beauty grew from a small local business into an international brand. There were setbacks along the way, moments of failure that kept me up at night. I made mistakes, but I learned from them. Each misstep became a lesson, and each lesson became a stepping stone. Today, Luminara Beauty employs thousands of people and serves clients all over the world. It's more than a business to me. It's proof that even the darkest times can lead to something beautiful. Looking back, I realized that every struggle, every sleepless night, and every moment of doubt shaped me. If I hadn't hit rock bottom, I wouldn't be the man I am today. The adversity I faced taught me resilience, and the kindness of others reminded me of the importance of paying it forward. If there's one lesson I've learned, it's this. Life will knock you down, but you don't have to stay there. Your circumstances don't define you. Your response to them does. No matter how low you fall, there's always a way up. It might not be easy, and it might take longer than you'd like, but it's possible. I never thought I'd end up living in my car. But that car became the place where I made the most important decision of my life, to fight for a better future. And if I can rise from that, so can you.
Every journey starts with a thought. Share yours below and join us on this path.